Nobody bid on this ruined armored cruiser. I bought it for 6 credits and shocked the galaxy. The auction hall smelled of burnt metal and recycled air, a faint reminder of the decades of starship parts that had passed through these halls. Thousands of beings from across the galaxy were gathered, each with their own goals and ambitions. Tall, shimmering insectoid aliens discussed tactics in sharp clicks. Reptilian traders hissed quietly, evaluating bids. Humans were rare here. Usually, they came as curious observers, often ignored. But Captain Ronan Kale was not like most humans. He leaned casually against the railing of the auction floor, eyes scanning the display screens that listed the latest lot. A hulking armored cruiser, battered and broken, appeared on the main screen. Rust streaked across its hull, panels hung loose like torn fabric. Its engines looked melted and fried. Lot 472, ex-Imperial Armored Cruiser, the auctioneer's metallic voice boomed. Condition: not recommended for space travel. Historical value: negligible. Expected bid: 10,000 credits. Any takers? A ripple of laughter ran through the audience. The alien bidders whispered among themselves, smirking at the human who dared show interest. Ronan smirked. He had seen the ships before. They looked useless, but he had a human instinct for potential. Humans didn't just see what was, they imagined what could be. And the price? The price was 6 credits. 6. A laughable number. "I'll take it," Ronan said, his voice calm. A pause. Then, 6 credits? The auctioneer's voice cracked with disbelief. "Yes," Ronan replied. He tapped the screen. 6 credits. Sold. The hall erupted in disbelief. Some of the alien bidders shook their heads. "Who even is this human?" hissed Varkon, a tall-scaled trader. "This ship is worthless. It's garbage. Why would anyone—" He was already planning. The cruiser rested in a hangar at the edge of the auction facility. It looked even worse in person. Its hull was scarred with burn marks and dents. One of its massive engines hung at a strange angle, sparks flickering from exposed conduits. Panels were missing, wires poked out like vines from a dead tree. Ronan walked around it with careful steps, eyes bright with excitement. His small crew followed him. Mira, the engineer with a knack for improvisation. Jax, the weapons specialist who loved to tinker. And Lena, a former pilot turned logistics expert. "This thing is a death trap," Mira said, brushing her fingers over a corroded panel. "Honestly, Captain, I don't see how we even start." Ronan grinned. "That's the point, Mira. Everyone else sees trash. Humans see opportunity. Trust me, 6 credits for this beast? The galaxy will never see it coming." He touched the side of the hole, feeling the rough metal. A faint pulse of energy made his fingers tingle. Curiosity sparked. He tapped his wrist console. "Run a scan. Let's see what we're working with." The scan revealed broken power systems, minimal life support, and engines at less than 10% efficiency. But hidden deep within the ship's bowels, Ronan noticed something strange, a faint AI signature, weak but alive. "AI core," he muttered. "Interesting. It's human design." "Human?" Lena asked. "This is an alien ship, Captain." "Are you saying someone built a human AI into it?" "Not built," Ronan replied slowly. "Accident. Maybe an alien engineer copied human schematics a long time ago. Either way, it's a tool. And humans are good at using tools." For the first few hours, the crew simply explored. The hallways of the cruiser were dim, with broken lights flickering. Some corridors led to dead ends. Others opened into strange chambers filled with old equipment. Rust crunched under their boots, and occasional sparks jumped from wires dangling dangerously from the ceiling. Jax ran his hands over a broken weapon system. "This is garbage," he said. "But maybe with a few tweaks, a little power rerouting, this could actually fire. Not like the originals, but something more human." Ronan nodded. "Exactly. Humans don't need perfection. We adapt, we improvise, and when the galaxy laughs at us, that's when we hit hardest." Mira was already crawling under the main engine chamber, examining the exposed wiring and coolant tubes. "I think we can get some power flowing." Not full thrust, but enough to move her through space. If we're lucky, we might even get her up to half speed. Half speed. That was all it would take to start. As night fell on the hangar, the crew set up temporary systems to keep the cruiser alive. Small drones repaired minor damages. Portable energy packs kept life support functioning. Ronan wandered through the empty hallways of the ship, marveling at its design. Despite its ruin, it had potential no one else could see. Then, deep in the engine room, he found the AI interface. A thin layer of dust covered its panel, but his fingers brushed across it, and it sparked to life. A soft, human-like voice echoed through the chamber. "Hello, Captain? Is that you?" You're alive?" "Functionality limited," the AI said, "but core operational. I recognize human presence." "Interesting," Ronan whispered. "I guess you've been waiting for someone like me. Someone resourceful, someone unpredictable." Ronan smiled. "You're not wrong. Let's see what we can do together." The next morning, news of the 6-credit purchase spread through the galactic channels. Rumors flew like wildfire. "A human bought a broken cruiser for 6 credits, one broadcast announced. "Experts say it's worth nothing. The human is either crazy or incredibly brave." Varkon was fuming. He stormed through the hangar, claws clicking on the metal floor. "This human!" he hissed. "A 6-credit cruiser? It's worthless. I will not let him go YZ. Relax," Ronan said calmly, leaning against the ship. "You're watching the wrong part of the galaxy. Humans don't play by your rules." Varkon sneered. "You will regret this, human. Everyone knows humans are weak. This ship will rot, and you will be laughed at." Ronan laughed softly. "Maybe. Or maybe we're just getting started." In the following days, the crew worked tirelessly. Mira rigged makeshift energy conduits to jumpstart damaged engines. Jax rewired weapon systems, replacing alien circuits with human improvisation. Lena calculated supply lines, ensuring the cruiser could sustain life for months if needed. Every step was painstaking, but every small success fueled their confidence. Then, during a late-night test, the cruiser shuddered. Sparks flew. An engine roared, weakly, but undeniably alive. Ronan grinned. "She's awake. This is only the beginning." 6 credits for a galaxy full of surprise. The AI flickered to life in the cockpit. "I detect capability. Humans are strange. But effective. Effective," Ronan repeated. "Exactly. And the galaxy won't know what hit it." Outside the hangar, stars twinkled like distant promises. For most, this was just another scrap of metal. For Ronan Kale, it was the beginning of something legendary. And, somewhere across the galaxy, old rivals were beginning to take notice. The ship was broken. The price was laughable. The odds were against them. But humans had a way of surprising everyone. The first light of the star system reflected on the battered hull of the cruiser, making the rusted metal gleam like a dying star. Inside, the crew moved quickly, every human nerve alert. Captain Ronan Kale stood on the bridge, scanning the displays. The AI core hummed quietly, its soft voice echoing through the empty corridors. "They're close," the AI said. "Ships entering sector, likely patrol fleet. We're ready. As ready as we can be. Let's see if 6 credits can really shake the galaxy." The alien ships had arrived silently, their sleek hulls gleaming like black ice. 5 patrol vessels, each the size of a small moon, glided into the sector, weapons bristling. Their crews would expect an easy victory over a human junk ship. The galaxy had a long habit of underestimating humans. Ronan gave orders. "Mira, check engines. Jax, weapons. Lena, shields and life support. Let's make sure they regret showing up." Mira's hands flew across panels, rewiring and rerouting power through broken conduits. Sparks flew. The engines roared weakly at first, then stronger. She grinned. "We'll move slowly, but enough to dodge and strike." Jax adjusted the weapons, not with the precision of alien engineers, but with human ingenuity. Alien tech followed patterns, predictable and rigid. Humans didn't need to match patterns. They could improvise. A few wires here, a few circuits there, and a weapon system that seemed useless now could fire in unpredictable bursts. "You'll see," Jack said with a mischievous smile. "They won't know what hit them. We can take some hits, but not too many. We need to make them miss, and fast." The cruiser lurched forward as the engines engaged. It moved awkwardly, the hull creaking under pressure. The patrol fleet approached confidently, bristling with weapons. They had expected a rusty relic, not a human crew daring enough to pilot it. Ronan leaned into the controls. "All right, everyone." Surprise them, enemy fire struck the cruiser. The hull shuddered, sparks flying along the damaged side, but the humans were ready. Mira had rigged the engines to shift power unpredictably, making the ship wobble and twist. Alien targeting systems designed for predictable movement failed. Shots went wide. Jax fired improvised weapons, sending bursts that hit weak points in the enemy shields. Small explosions rippled across the enemy hulls, and their formation wavered. Ronan's grin widened. They expected a wreck. They got chaos. As the skirmish continued, the AI core whispered strategies. They rely on linear tactics, exploit irregular movement, use weak points in energy flow, fire from unexpected angles. Copy that. Humans are unpredictable. That was the advantage. While alien fleets depended on precision and rigid patterns, humans used creativity and intuition. Mira shifted engine outputs mid-flight, making the cruiser move in ways no alien system could anticipate. Jax targeted shield nodes, firing bursts that overloaded circuits. Lena adjusted power to shields just in time to absorb stray fire. The result was stunning. A battered cruiser, once considered junk, was dodging enemy fire and hitting back with deadly accuracy. The patrol ships regrouped, furious. "This is impossible," hissed Varkon's second-in-command, a reptilian officer named Karu. "That human, it shouldn't be able to do this. It's a ruin. A joke." And yet, the humans didn't care about the taunts. Each action was a step toward proving themselves. "Ronan," Mira said, eyes wide, "I think we can push our engines harder. There's a hidden conduit that can boost power, but it's risky. Could blow the whole system if we're wrong." Ronan smirked. "Since when have humans worried about risk?" He nodded. "Do it. Let's show them what 6 credits can buy." Mira's fingers flew across controls. Energy surged through the engines, and the cruiser jolted forward, faster than it had ever moved. Sparks flew, panels rattled, and the hull groaned, but it moved. The humans had turned weakness into power. The patrol fleet attacked again, more cautiously this time. They had learned to fear the unexpected, but Ronan had more surprises. Using the ship's broken systems, he improvised traps. Old gravity stabilizers, once useless, were rerouted to create localized distortions. Enemy ships passed through, and their formations broke apart. Missiles overshot, lasers scattered. Jax laughed as he fired. "They think they're hunting a human. We're hunting them." For every maneuver the aliens made, humans found a counter. Every attack was met with ingenuity. The cruiser, patched and improvised, became more than its parts. It became a weapon born of creativity and unpredictability. Hours passed. The patrol ships retreated, damaged and demoralized. The human crew, exhausted but exhilarated, watched as their junk ship held its own against superior forces. Ronan stepped onto the bridge, looking out at the stars. "Did you see that?" he said. "They thought we were weak. They thought they could intimidate us. And what happened? And we won." Jax leaned against the console. "We didn't just survive. We taught them humans can fight back, even with a broken ship. And they won't forget it." And later, after repairs and minor modifications, the crew settled into routine. Every corner of the ship still bore scars, burn marks, bent metal, missing panels. But it had character now. Every improvised fix, every human touch added to its strength. The AI core, now fully operational, spoke in its soft, precise voice. "Captain, humans are capable of adapting faster than anticipated. You've exceeded my calculations." "Not calculations, old friend. Creativity, courage." A little stubbornness. That's human advantage. The AI paused. Advantage noted. I will continue optimizing systems based on human tactics. Together, we are efficient. Efficient is good, but unpredictable is better. Word of the 6-credit human cruiser spread across the galaxy. News channels buzzed with disbelief. Analysts argued over the humans' methods. Alien commanders discussed how one weak ship could survive against a fleet. Varkon, fuming, glared at the news feeds. This is unacceptable. We will reclaim that ship, or destroy it. No human should survive against proper forces. Ronan, aboard his cruiser, heard the whispers of the galaxy, and he smiled. He had bought a ruin for 6 credits, and the galaxy was beginning to notice. For humans, every setback was an opportunity. Every disadvantage could be turned into strength. And the galaxy, full of rigid, predictable species, had no idea what was coming. The stars stretched endlessly outside the cruiser's reinforced windows, glittering like distant fires. Captain Ronan Kale leaned on the bridge console, eyes narrowing at the approaching alien fleet. Dozens of massive warships, each bristling with deadly weapons, glimmered like predators in the void. They were coming not just to challenge, but to annihilate everything human in the sector. Ronan's crew moved with practiced efficiency, tension, and excitement mingling in the recycled air. Mira adjusted the engine conduits one last time. Jax ran final diagnostics on the weapons, and Lena synchronized the improvised shield systems. The cruiser, battered and patched, felt alive under their hands, a living testament to human ingenuity. They think they can intimidate us, Ronan muttered. Let's show them they can't. The first enemy ship opened fire. Massive energy beams tore through space, lighting up the cruiser's hull. Sparks flew along damaged panels, and alarms blared. Shields holding at 70%, Lena shouted. We can't take another direct hit. Ronan slammed his fists on the controls. Then we won't take a direct hit. Mira, full evasive protocols. Jax, prepare unconventional strikes. Let's make them regret showing up. Mira's fingers danced over controls, redirecting power to engines, firing bursts from patched energy stabilizers to shift the cruiser unpredictably. Every movement was erratic, jerky, yet precise in its chaos. Alien targeting systems, calibrated for predictable trajectories, failed completely. Missiles overshot. Energy beams struck empty space. The aliens regrouped. Impossible, bellowed Karu, Varkon's second-in-command. Their ship, it shouldn't move like that. Targeting systems are failing. Ronan smirked. Predictable is easy. Unpredictable, that's dangerous. The humans didn't just dodge, they struck. Jax fired modified weapons, bursts of energy that overloaded enemy shields at weak points. One of the largest alien ships trembled and shuddered as sparks rained across its hull. Direct hit, Jax cheered. And it barely cost us a thing. Ronan's grin widened. Humans weren't meant to follow rules. They bent them. They used flaws to their advantage. The cruiser, once considered a ruin, was proving lethal. Hours passed in a tense dance of attack and evasion. The alien fleet underestimated humans' creativity at every turn. The cruiser weaved through enemy fire, seemingly chaotic, but always calculating, always exploiting openings. Mira shouted over the alarms, I can push the engines to maximum. But the conduits might fry. Do it, Ronan yelled. We don't survive by playing safe. The engines roared, groaning under stress, and the cruiser surged forward like a wounded predator. Alien ships scrambled to adjust. Lasers missed. Missiles detonated harmlessly ahead. The humans used the broken ship to their advantage. Every failure in alien engineering became a trap. The AI spoke quietly, almost like a whisper. Captain, your tactics are unconventional. Efficiency is high. I detect morale drop in enemy fleet. They are not expecting this. Morale drops, Ronan said. Then we hit harder. Humans survive by turning the impossible into possible. They'll remember that. Lena's voice broke the tension. Captain, we're low on shields. One direct hit, and then we won't take one. Move erratically. Make them think we're retreating, then strike. The humans executed a brilliant maneuver. The cruiser retreated engines firing unevenly, drawing several alien ships after it. Then, in a sudden twist, the humans swung the cruiser around, cutting across the enemy fleet's formation. The AI guided power to critical weapons, and Jax fired a concentrated volley into the core of the pursuing vessels. Explosions lit the void as alien ships were crippled. Barkhan's roar echoed across the fleet. This human, it cannot be. Destroy it. The battle escalated. More alien ships arrived, responding to the destruction, but Ronan's humans adapted with every attack. They used gravity distortions from damaged stabilizers to create temporary blind spots. Engines rerouted power to weapons in ways no alien engineer would anticipate. Every small system patched with human ingenuity became a tool. Every weakness, a weapon. For the first time, other species began to question the long-held belief humans are weak. Amid the chaos, Ronan's crew worked flawlessly together. Mira handled engines like a conductor leading a symphony of sparks and metal. Jax adapted weapons on the fly, turning broken lasers into pulse cannons. Lena recalculated shield flows constantly, keeping the cruiser alive against overwhelming odds. "Captain!" Mira shouted. "We can hit their flagship if we angle right. One shot at the reactor could take them out." Ronan's eyes gleamed. "Then let's show them what humans do best. Take risks they can't imagine." At the perfect moment, Jax fired the modified weapon straight at the flagship's reactor core. A massive explosion rocked the alien ship, sending shards of metal scattering across space. The flagship shuddered, systems failing. Panic rippled through the alien fleet. Varkon's voice bellowed across the comms, filled with rage. "This is impossible. They are humans. Destroy them all." Ronan stood tall on the bridge. "No," he muttered. "We finished this our way." With a final daring move, the humans directed the cruiser straight through the disorganized fleet, dodging lasers, weaving past damaged vessels. The remaining enemy ships retreated, unable to predict the humans' unpredictable tactics. The cruiser, battered and smoking, drifted silently among the wreckage. Sparks flew, panels were scorched, and holes were dented, but the humans had survived. They had won. Exhausted, the crew leaned against consoles, laughing and cheering. The impossible had been achieved. The cruiser, bought for 6 credits and considered worthless, had survived against overwhelming odds. Ronan looked out at the stars, voice quiet but fierce. "Do you see that, crew? They thought we were weak. They thought a human junk ship couldn't fight. And now they'll remember us. Humans survive. Humans adapt, humans fight back." The AI spoke softly. "Captain, I did not calculate this outcome. Human adaptability is extraordinary." "Extraordinary is human," Ronan replied. "Predictable is alien. That's the difference." Word of the battle spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, transmissions repeated the same message. A human ship survived against a fleet. The ship was bought for 6 credits. Analysts and commanders were shocked. Some laughed. Some were terrified. Everyone began to reconsider humanity. Varkon seethed in his command room, scales flashing in fury. "This cannot stand. We will not allow humans to challenge us again. They will be hunted and destroyed." Ronan didn't care. He had no illusions. More enemies would come, stronger and more prepared. But humans had an advantage no alien could fully calculate: creativity, courage, and unpredictability. As the cruiser drifted through space, systems humming with patched efficiency, Ronan gathered his crew. "We did it. We survived, and we learned something valuable. We don't just repair a broken ship, we make it ours. We make it a weapon, a symbol, and the galaxy will have to respect us." Mira smiled, wiping soot from her hands. "We did more than survive, Captain. We showed them humans are dangerous, even when they seem weak. And we did it with nothing but scrap, guts, and imagination." Lena nodded. "They won't forget this day." Ronan looked at the crew, pride shining in his eyes. "Good. Let them underestimate us. That's when humans strike hardest. Prepare for what's next. The galaxy isn't done testing us yet." The vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly before the battered cruiser. Captain Ronan Kale stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the approaching fleet. Hundreds of alien warships, each larger and deadlier than the last. This was no patrol. This was a full-scale assault. The shadowy admiral, a being feared across several sectors, had decided humans had gone too far. Ronan's crew moved with calm efficiency. Mira monitored the engines, Jax adjusted weapons, and Lena calculated shield and energy flows with astonishing speed. The AI, now fully integrated with the ship, whispered updates and tactical suggestions, blending human intuition with computational precision. "They think they can destroy us," Ronan muttered, a faint smile playing on his lips. "They don't know, humans. They don't know what we can do with 6 credits, some scrap, and a lot of courage." Energy beams cut through space, missiles streaked toward the cruiser, and alarms screamed across the bridge. Sparks flew along the patched hull. The cruiser shook violently. "Shields at 50%, Lena shouted. "We can't take a full broadside." "Then we won't," Ronan barked. "Engines full evasive. Make them miss everything they aim at." Mira twisted knobs, rerouted power, and twisted the engines beyond safe limits. The cruiser jolted and twisted unpredictably. Alien targeting systems built for logic and patterns failed. Missiles detonated harmlessly against empty space, and energy beams missed by meters. Jax grinned as he fired improvised weapons, bursts of energy that tore through enemy shields at weak points. One cruiser after another erupted into sparks and fire. The humans' broken ship had become a nightmare for their enemies. The alien admiral roared in disbelief. "Impossible. That ship. It cannot survive. It's a human ship. Yet it defies all logic." Ronan smiled. Humans didn't need logic the way aliens did. Creativity, courage, unpredictability. That was their strength. "Captain," Mira said, pointing at the scanner. "If we angle right, we can take out the flagship, one shot at the core, and we might turn this battle." "Then we do it. Everyone, listen carefully. This is our moment. We're going to turn a ruin into a legend." The humans executed their plan flawlessly. The cruiser twisted through space like a living thing, dodging fire while closing in on the flagship. The AI guided every maneuver, predicting enemy reactions based on their predictable logic. Jax fired concentrated energy bursts at the reactor core. The flagship shuddered violently, sparks flying across its hull. Systems failed, and the massive ship lost formation. Alien vessels nearby hesitated, unsure how to respond. "Direct hit," Jax cheered. "They're crippled." Ronan pressed forward. "Good. Now keep moving. Keep them off balance." Mira rerouted power to the engines, increasing speed beyond recommended limits. The cruiser lurched, weaving unpredictably, drawing several enemy ships out of formation. Lena coordinated shields and life support, keeping the human crew alive amidst the chaos. The humans' broken ship had become a weapon of ingenuity. Every patched panel, every improvised weapon, every rerouted engine made them stronger, not weaker. The alien fleet panicked. Their formations collapsed under the humans' unpredictable tactics. Ships collided. Missiles detonated prematurely. Energy beams struck empty space. Fear spread like wildfire. Varkon, seething with rage, barked orders. "Do not retreat. Destroy the humans." But the humans didn't need orders. They acted with precision and creativity, improvising constantly. Every attack was met with a clever counter. Every disadvantage was exploited. The cruiser, once considered a worthless ruin, danced through death itself and survived. Ronan's voice rang through the bridge. "Humans survive when others fall. Humans fight when others surrender. And humans shock the galaxy." Amid the battle, the AI made a critical calculation. "Captain, if we target the central command module of the remaining fleet, we can disrupt their systems. Probability of success? Moderate. Risk? High. High risk, high reward," Ronan said with a grin. "Do it." Humans love those odds. Jax fired a series of synchronized volleys, the cruiser twisting unpredictably as engines flared. The central command vessel shuddered, systems failing one by one. Alien fleets, leaderless and confused, began retreating. "Look at them go!" Lena shouted. "They're running." Ronan allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. The impossible had been achieved. A ship bought for 6 credits, repaired with ingenuity and courage, had defeated an overwhelming fleet. As the humans regrouped, Mira walked over to Ronan. "Captain, we did it. We survived. We won. And we didn't just survive. We changed how the galaxy sees humans." Exactly. They thought we were weak. They thought we were expendable. But humans turn weakness into strength. Jax leaned against a console, smirking. And all it took was scrap, guts, and imagination. Imagine what humans can do when they're fully equipped. Eyes on the stars. The galaxy won't forget this day. They'll remember the ship and the humans aboard it. Far away, across multiple sectors, transmissions spread. "A human ship bought for 6 credits has survived against a massive alien fleet," analysts exclaimed. "Experts call this impossible. Commanders warn, humans cannot be underestimated." The legend of the 6-credit cruiser was born. Across the galaxy, whispers and rumors grew into stories of human courage and ingenuity. Even species who had always dismissed humanity as weak began to take notice. Varkon, humiliated, roared at his screen. "This is not over. Humans will be hunted, destroyed." But Ronan Kale didn't care. He had won today, and tomorrow humans would face new challenges, stronger enemies, bigger fleets, and impossible odds. Yet one thing was certain. Humans had shown the galaxy what they could do. They could survive. They could fight, and they could shock even the most confident and powerful civilizations. The cruiser, battered but alive, drifted among the stars. Panels were scorched, the hull dented, and engines groaned under strain. But it was more than a ship. It was a symbol, a testament to human creativity, courage, and determination. Ronan stood on the bridge, hands resting on the console. "We did it. The galaxy thought we were weak. They thought a ruin couldn't fight, and now they'll never forget humans again." The AI hummed quietly. "Captain, humans are remarkable. Adaptability, ingenuity, courage beyond calculation." "Remarkable," Ronan repeated. "Yes, that's human." Mira, Jax, and Lena joined him. Exhausted, exhilarated, and proud, they looked out at the stars. The galaxy was vast, full of danger and opportunity, and humanity had just begun to make its mark. Epilogue/HFY moment. Across the sectors, transmissions carried the story. Pilots, engineers, and traders whispered about the 6-credit cruiser and its human crew. Colonies rebuilt after attacks celebrated humans' courage. Commanders recalculated strategies, realizing humans were unpredictable, dangerous, and resourceful. And somewhere in the quiet of space, Ronan Kale smiled. The cruiser, once a worthless scrap, had become a legend. "Some things are worth more than gold," he said softly. "Ingenuity, courage, and a little stubbornness." The human crew had done the impossible. They had turned a bargain into a legacy. And the galaxy was just beginning to understand that humans were not to be underestimated.